What's going on, Essex? Welcome to Essex Nation, a show for the students, by the students. I'm your host from the Essex Coast, Vaughn.
And I'm your host, Verdia. On today's show, we are so excited to preview an exclusive interview with the president of Essex County College, Dr. Gale E. Gibson.
That's right. Dr. Gibson was just recently inaugurated this semester, becoming the 7th president of Essex County College. We're also excited to feature an interview with indie filmmaker Stacey Muhammad from a special workshop from Essex Film students this semester.
Wow, 2 amazing women? That's fabulous.
What are you telling? But first, here's a look at some of the events that the Short Films Club and Student Entertainment Organization have brought to Essex students this semester. Okay, we're back. Wow, we did a lot this semester, right?
I know. I almost forgot everything. We did so much. But one thing I didn't forget is the inauguration of President Gale E. Gibson.
Yes, that's right. The Short Films Club had an exclusive opportunity to sit down with Dr. Gale E. Gibson and speak with her one-on-one about her accomplishments and her vision for the future of Essex County College.
Hi, I'm Barbara from Short Films Club, and we are interviewing Dr. Gibson. We are so happy today that we have our president with us, and we just want to thank you, President Gibson, for taking our time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. Dr. Gibson, you have 20 years in higher education. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in higher education?
My career over 25 years. Well, actually, it starts while you're in college. You start building your career, and I think students need to know that. So even when they're in little part-time jobs or the college work-study jobs, that is all becomes part of their career. I started out as a tutor. I rose from being a tutor to administrative assistant. I became a resident advisor. Then I became a residence hall director. I had oversight of a residence hall of 800 female students. I also had a residence hall that was international graduate students, families, and just single graduate students. And from there, I went on. I worked with athletes. I worked with our NCAA athletes at NC State University. So I really had a very diverse working experience. Then I became an adjunct faculty member when I had my master's degree while I was pursuing my PhD. And from there, when I finished the doctorate, I became an assistant professor, and I followed 2 tracks because I knew in order to become a college president, I had to have the faculty line and the administrative line. And I actually assistant professor, associate professor, full professor. I started out as an assistant director on the administrative side, director, assistant dean, associate dean, full dean. And I did them at the same time. So I think I had a plan, and the mentors that I had surrounding me, they had a plan for me also, and they were very instrumental in guiding that plan so that I would eventually ascend to become a college president.
When someone looks at Essex in the next 10 years, what is your hopes that the conversation will be like?
I hope the conversation will be that I left my legacy. I'm building on a very strong foundation of a president who served this institution and built the foundation of this institution 30 years. And if you understand institutional building, you'll know that he developed the foundation. 30 years later, it's like part 2. So what will my legacy be? And I have to build from where he left. So I would hope the conversation would be that during the time period that I was here as president, that I helped to increase the graduation and retention rate. I helped to add additional physical structures into the campus. I would hope that we increase enrollment. I would hope that the conversation would be that we had a new logo, a new tagline, that we increased our students in the allied health and science area, that we had new degree programs, that we increased articulation agreements, that I built a phenomenal study abroad program, that I built a great center for teaching and learning excellence for our faculty. So those are some of the things that I hope will be a hallmark of my legacy.
Okay, Dr. Gibson, I know you had many obstacles that you had to endure, but being president of Essex, how did you overcome these obstacles?
So when I entered Essex, the greatest obstacle, the greatest challenge was entering an institution where I knew that we had issues with our middle states accreditation and being on a warning status. And I knew that I had to do my part so that I can help move the institution from that warning status. So that was a major challenge, coming into an institution that you had to galvanize the faculty. You yourself I had to have a sense of academic assessment and student learning outcomes and aligning course learning outcomes to program outcomes to the college's goals and objectives. So I knew what the issues were at Essex, and I knew that I had the strengths coming from my prior experience to help move the college forward. But I also had to gain the support, the buy-in of the faculty and the staff, and to show them to have faith in me and allow me the wherewithal to move the agenda. And they did that, and I was very appreciative of that, and it actually led us to actually coming off of that warning in the area of academic assessment. I think that was my greatest challenge, and I think the other challenge that it faces every college president is always funding for your institution. So coming on board, I knew that the college needed certain things, and resources were very scarce, and I had to find a way to get resources to improve the academic infrastructure of the college. So there was a grant announcement that was sent out for New Jersey Higher Education Capitals Fund, and there was a pool of money for county colleges, and you had to submit proposals. So again, I did what I do. I galvanized people, and I brought folks together and said, hey, look, let's submit some of these proposals. The worst thing that could happen is that we don't get any funding, and the best thing that could happen, they could fund all of them. And we submitted 5 proposals, and all of them got funded in the tune of almost $20 million to improve the academic infrastructure. So already there are challenges, but you have to seek the resources. And then once you seek the resources, if you're successful, then it becomes part of the legacy that I will leave behind. I know that when I leave this college, that part of my legacy will be that $20 million. And that $20 million will be used to, number one, revitalize the West Essex campus. It will also be used to bring in new, and they call them mannequins or simulators in the nursing department, which is one of our high demand programs. We'll also have new infrastructure, new cabling for our technology that will enhance like some of the equipment and the software around campus. So, you know, those were kind of challenges, but you have to meet the challenge. And It does take a lot of work, and you have to be innovative, and I think that's what I will hope to leave behind. But it does take a team, and I think that I have built a very good team. It's not always just me or I. I'm the leader, yes, and I have to have the ideas, I have to think out of the box, but then I have to have a team that's going to help me execute as well.
Can you tell us some of your memorable moments that you had at Essex? I know you shared with us that everything came from your heart and that you had a plan and you put yourself around a lot of successful people and people that really, really poured into your life. Can you just tell us about some of those memorable moments that you had here at Essex?
I think the most memorable moment was this past commencement. We graduated our largest class at 1,502 students. And within that class, 34% of that class graduated in the STEM areas. So whether it was nursing or radiography, and that was a very memorable moment for me because I know that we have touched 1,502 lives. We've changed their lives, but also most significantly is that we've changed their families' lives. And that is so rewarding that, just to know that 1,500 students can now either get a job or go on to a baccalaureate degree, and that it has true impact on them and their future. That's amazing. It's amazing.
Being a career woman with 2 sons, can you tell us a little bit about what do you want them to say about you in the future?
I think that education is a valuable commodity, number one. I think that anything that is anything of substance, you have to put in the hard work and to have a foundation to grow on, to know the foundation that they come from and use that as their pillar of strength to become successful. So I think those are the couple of things, and that women are incredible species, and that, by any means necessary, that if they see that their mother can do what she's done, that they too can be successful, but they can also support the females that they will encounter along the way.
I did want to interrupt you while you were talking because I have 2 sons as well. And I try to be a model for my sons. And from what you said, that just made me so happy to know that, I have my president that has the same type of goals that I have for her children that I have for mine. Okay, I'm going to go to another level with this. With all the excitement and anticipation of October 17th was your inauguration. Woo! What is your feeling or words that you would like to share at this time?
I've told everyone on the campus that October 17th is really not about me. It's really about the college. It's a university ritual. It's a college ritual that happens on every campus. And I think that I'm excited for the campus because it marks another cycle of life of the institution. And I think I'm going to be honored. I'm excited to have my name written in the history book, because when you look back, and that's another project that I'm embarking on now, the history of Essex County College has not been written. So part of my task, part of my outcomes this year is to identify an author and to begin to write the history of Essex County College. And because we do still have our president emeritus with us, Dr. Yamba, he has 30 years as president of history that we can tap into to put into this book. So I think the inauguration, it's all bells and whistles, and that's very exciting for the campus. And I think I am just humbled to be a part of it all. And then I'm excited because this will mark the implementation of a scholarship gala. And I will hope to have this scholarship gala every year. I'm very student-centered, and I want our students to be able to get funds to help them complete or to help them buy books or to buy a laptop. And some of our students aren't able to do that right now, and it causes them hardships. And we have talented students that if they're just given a little $200 or $500 to help them along the way, they can be successful. So that's going to be, you know, it's the inauguration, but it's also about the institution and it's about the students. So I'm excited for the moment, but it has long-lasting impact.
You are an extraordinary woman.
Oh, thank you.
You are humble. I'm just going to put an H right there on the left hand of you right there. What advice do you have to give Essex students in regards to their own success and futures?
Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't give up. Find a faculty member, find a staff person to talk to in times of crisis. Don't quit. I think the other advice is to make a plan. I've gotten to where I am from the island of Barbados, from being an immigrant in this country to being a college president because I had a plan. And sometimes it doesn't always go the way you expect the plan to go, but you gotta have some form of a plan and work the plan. And when you find that you've gone off track on that plan, seek out help and guidance. But if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So that would be my best advice. Don't quit, have a plan, and seek out mentors.
We just want to thank you for being here with us today, Dr. Gibson. What an awesome privilege it is to talk with you right now.
No, I think that this college is amazing. We have some phenomenal students, and it is my utmost honor to lead this institution, and I thank you for what you guys do every day.
Wow, what an amazing woman, am I right?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Incredible. And now we have another amazing interview with Stacey Muhammad, an award-winning film director whose website, For Colored Boys, has been getting rave hits and reviews online and offline.
Stacey Muhammad gave an exclusive workshop and screened her web series for Essex film students as part of a Michaud Washington Black Film Series this semester.
Let's take a look at what she had to say.
So for me, I think I grew up in New Orleans and filmmaking really was like an escape. Like I grew up on Spike Lee's work. So it really was an escape. And I don't even know what sparked my interest in film per se, other than the fact that I always loved movies. But initially I started taking just about every filmmaking workshop that was offered in DC. And so it was, and many of these people, I don't even know who they are now. But the narrative was, as a Black filmmaker, if you want to make it, these are the type of stories that you have to tell. And the advice wasn't anything I was interested in taking, right? They weren't telling me the type of stories I wanted to tell. But the advice was, if you want to make it in Hollywood as a Black filmmaker, you have to tell these types of stories. So I was fortunate to take classes with Professor Howard Dreamer at Howard University. Professor Dreamer did the film Sankofa. And so I always say that the classes with him were not just classes or lessons in filmmaking, they were lessons in life. And definitely learned from him that I could be a filmmaker and be the type of filmmaker that I wanted to be. It helped me to kind of redefine my ideas around what success as a filmmaker means. And kind of, you know, helped me to understand that doing quality work takes time. It took him more than 8 years to do Sankofa, to make Sankofa. And it's one of the films that has had more impact on our people than anything else. So that's kind of like my journey, I guess, as a filmmaker. And my goal has been to tell the stories that I think are important, to kind of, you know, reinforce the ideas that we need to be indoctrinated with. You know, filmmaking and storytelling is, you know, one of the tools that's used to indoctrinate masses of people, and you can use it to tell the type of stories that you want to tell. So my goal has been to kind of be the counter to many of the stories that we see in mainstream media.
If that's it, again, thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate it.
Hello, we are here at Essex County College.
My name is Heather Rivera.
My name is Melina Praith, and I am here with Stacey Muhammad,
The creator of Four Colored Boys. So, what made you pursue media?
Oh, wow. I think media is extremely impactful. You know, it definitely is the space where we can tell stories to masses of people and kind of, I think, get out counter narratives to the very negative depictions that we see of African American people in media. So it's my passion, you know, documentary filmmaking, narrative filmmaking, and you know, things have gone well, you know, so it definitely is just something that I think is really important to do. It feels good, and I think it helps to change people's lives and change their ideas as well.
And why is being an activist important to you?
It's kind of like the rent you pay to live on the planet, you know. I think there are a lot of things happening in the world that are problematic, a lot of people that need help. You know, so being an activist means that you care about what's happening on the planet, you know. I can't imagine being alive and not caring about what's happening. So doing this work, using art to tell these stories, and working with youth, you know, has always been a passion of mine. And I think it's just really important, you know, to do these things. I can't imagine not doing it.
How does it feel that you're being able to reach out to the college world and the youth and staff to give them your story on film and giving that inspiration? How does that make you feel?
Well, it feels great. I mean, the support is always appreciated, right? So it's always amazing when people reach out to have me come out and speak, particularly speak to young people, because I think that that's where the change is. Like, that's where we have the most impact and the most opportunity to see the change that we want to see on the planet is happening through young people who are on fire and ready and willing, you know, to be bold in working toward the things that we need to see different. So yeah, it's an honor. You know, I always love to come out and speak to young people. They inspire me. I feel old when I keep saying saying that. But yeah, they inspire me. They inspire me a lot. So yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice for those that want to pursue filming and even do it as for the love of art?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I said earlier, learn your craft. If it's film school, if it's workshops, if it's reading books on filmmaking, watch movies. You know, definitely read books about character development. You know, I think writing screenplays that are character-driven stories are important. It's a craft, so you really need to learn it and make movies. You know, I think the way in which you kind of perfect this craft, or you work toward perfecting it, is to actually do the work. Get a mentor and team up with other artists who love and appreciate film and work with them, you know, and get the help that you need for your project, and you'll be surprised at how quickly you'll see, you know, your work advance and your craft get better in time.
Perfect. Thank you. And this is Essex County College with Stacey Muhammad.
Thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out the Short Films Club and Student Entertainment Club on Facebook and other social media you can find at the end of our show. Well, until next time, I'm your host from the Essex Coast, Vaughn.
And I'm your host, Verdia. Don't forget to watch Essex Nation on Channel 77, on Cablevision, or on our website, EssexVoices.com. Until next time,
Be you,
be true,
be success,
be
Essex.